Hello. It's been a funny old morning outside. I've been out, and every time I've gone out to do something, it started raining. Well, it does look like it's cleared up now, so I'm going to go out and finish off some of those things that I started in the rain. I've prepared the next broody house for a couple of girls to go in today, and then tomorrow we're transferring eggs from the incubator to underneath the chickens. And I've started weeding another one of the beds, the one that had kale in it this year, and that's got some really big, deep rooted weeds in it. So it's got things like dandelions, dock. Obviously it still had the large pieces of kale in it. It's got a lot of clover gone across it, and then some other little spreading thing, but I don't know what it is. And it's one I haven't seen before. I've only seen it here, so I'm guessing it's a field weed. But before I go out, I'm just having a bit of lunch. I'm having it out of a plastic tub. This is one of the meals that I prepared, popped in the freezer so that I could just have it quickly and easily. So it's lamb's liver with sweet potato cooked in a garlic sauce, and then over the top of that I've poured the homemade sweet and sour sauce that I made last night. There was just a little bit left over, and it seems a shame to waste it. So liver and sweet and sour sauce. I have no idea what it's going to taste like. I'll tell you in a moment. It's a really odd combination, actually. It's certainly not one I'll do again in a hurry, but I'm going to eat it now and then we'll go outside. I've come round to the back of the piggeries because it's about the only place outside that that isn't completely blown by the wind again today. I did film earlier on, and when I was filming, I hadn't realised just how windy it was, and so the sound quality is really poor, and I just want to apologise for that. But I'm sure you will understand the gist of what I'm saying, and. I will now need, and I now plan, what's that bird? That's nice. So I now plan to start having a look online to see if I can find, and I'm pointing where you can't see it, up here, is the microphone for this camera. It's got one of those wind thingies on it to stop the wind. It's obviously not as effective as it needs to be, so I'm going to see if I can find something that I can put around the microphone that will help reduce some of the impact of the wind. Anyway, here I am out in the garden. I want to move that very beautiful lemon balm. Last year it got to about 2.5 feet high, and I had to cut it down because it was inside one of the brassica growing tunnels, and I think if I'd been able to leave it, it would have turned into this magnificent clump of lemon balm. So I'm going to move it into the food forest where it can just grow to whatever size it wants to within reason. And it isn't in the way of annual vegetables being grown, or doesn't get squashed by having a cover. One thing I do know is that lemon balm's too heavy for me to lift on my own, so I'm going to wait until Mr. J comes home and ask him to give me a hand moving it. And in the meantime, I'm going to carry on trying to get some of these weeds out of this bed. So this bed is due to have broad beans in it, and what I want to do is get out all the pernicious weeds, of which there are many, so that I'm not trying to get them out at the same time as the beans are trying to grow. There's also quite a lot of couch grass. I know it's got different names in different places, and that also sends out a really extensive root system. If you break it off, a new little plant grows wherever you've broken it off, and it's naughty stuff. So through most of the garden, I am just smothering the weeds over winter with black plastic. I didn't with this bed because it had the kale in it, and we were actually still harvesting the kale. But I need to read up a bit. I might even need to have a conversation with somebody who's an absolute expert in no-dig methods, and see if I can get their advice on how to deal with this. So what I'm doing now is I'm using a little trowel just to try and lift the roots, because they run absolutely everywhere. So to try and lift the roots, but disturbing the soil as little as possible, because it's not really a no-dig bed if you dig it. So here's the grass, and it sends out a root like that, and you can see new plants coming at each nodule or node on the roots. Maybe it's a runner, I don't know which it is. I guess it's a runner, but it's a nuisance. It just gets everywhere. Now I know I'm not going to get every last piece out of here, so what I'm hoping is to get the worst of it, and then once I've got the beans in, I can just keep on top of the weeds and get the plants in, put a really good mulch around the plants, and then as the weeds come up, I can just remove those individual weeds, hopefully without too much hassle. And then with any luck, I won't have to do this particular bed again. Well, I would like to say ever again, but that seems unlikely. Maybe I won't have to do this bed again in the same way. So all the weeds that I'm pulling up are going over to the duck enclosure for the ducks to have a dibble through, and then they will be left to rot down. I'm hoping that they don't get reinvigorated. The warmth of the day and the wind should dry them out fairly quickly, and hopefully that's enough just to kill off at least the ones that I've managed to get up.